Welcome, everyone, to For Our Success. I'm Dr. Linda Dugan, and my colleagues here. Introduce yourselves, ladies. Say hello.
Hello.
Mary,
Hi,
oh,
everyone.
Mary Anderson right there, and attorney
Hello,
Lucinda
everybody. This
Dunn.
is Lucinda. How are you this evening?
We are so glad to be with you today, and we are really excited because we have another wonderful program for you. And this one today has to do with love language, which is really important, and relationships. Relationships, that's what we were put here to do, is to express love and receive love. And we are going to be more skilled in doing that as a result of this show today. So just hang with us, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And the information that we have is just so valuable and will make a difference in your relationships as it has in ours, just being aware of this information. There is a wonderful book called The Five Love Languages by this gentleman by the name of Gary Chapman. And he talks about the primary love languages that all of us have, and some of us have secondary ones as well, but there's a primary way that we communicate our love. And out of these five, and Mary's going to go over what these five are. But as we go through, maybe you can kind of see yourself in one of these and see if you can identify which ones you communicate your love with and you respond to the best, because that's your love language when you can see which ones apply to you. Okay, Mary. So teach
Well,
us
what
what this is about.
what I'm going to do is share the screen, uh, and let's see, so you can follow along with me. Okay. So of the five love languages, we see here's five, and then we see in column one how we communicate our love, and then the actions we take. And so we can go through all of that together. But the five love languages is first words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. Then we got physical touch, and we have receiving gifts and quality of time and acts of service. And so we look at words of affirmation. You want to go over that, Linda, and then I can, we can,
Elaborate.
Lucinda and I will talk about it. Yeah, let's take them one by one.
Okay.
Start off with words of affirmation.
Okay. Well, words of affirmation has to do, this is a way that the person who specializes in words of affirmation, they encourage, they are affirming, they appreciate, they show appreciation and empathize, and they're very active listeners as well. Um, and the actions that they take is, they send unexpected notes and texts and cards and genuinely encourage others, and often are great listeners. People will call you and you'll listen for whatever period of time uh, to whatever it is that they are talking about, it because this is your way of showing love to them. Physical touch has to do with a
Be-
non-verbal. Go
Before
ahead.
we
You want
go,
to
yeah,
each?
before we go into physical touch,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to literally just stick with words of affirmation for a minute, because that's really important that people
Okay.
get. Before, I should back up a little bit and share with people, because there are some people who've never heard of love languages before. You don't
Yeah.
know about these five love languages. What does that mean?
Mhm.
Five love languages are the way that we really communicate that love to a person, and how we feel love, how we experience love. Because whether it's words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, or giving gifts, or quality time, or acts of service, these languages are how we speak to each other. You know, it's more than just the words we use, but it's the way that we communicate. And so today we want you to walk away with some actions that you can take to speak to your loved ones, uh, uh, whether it's a friend, whether it's your mate, your husband, your children. anyone you're trying to communicate love to, and you wonder why they don't get it, because sometimes people have different acts of, different love languages, and we'll get into that a little bit further. So let's first handle words of affirmation. Let's bring it home. You know, mama never ever told you that she loved you. She did everything for you, but she didn't tell you, or, she never affirmed you. What does it mean to affirm somebody? What do you think about that? Lucinda, you were saying earlier, you're new to this concept. What are your thoughts on words of affirmation?
Yeah.
Or any of it?
Well, actually, words of affirmation and acts of service. But we're sticking with the affirmation, words of affirmation. I think that one and the last one really do define me. I'm an advocate. Everything I do, it involves advocacy. I don't have children. I don't have a spouse. So I don't have to, interact with people on those levels. So all of my interaction, really, for the most part, is my work as an attorney, as an advocate. And so I find that with my clients, I have to affirm, and I should and must affirm to them my concern, my dedication, commitment to them, by, for one, ensuring that I understand what their needs are, right? So I do that by saying, or at least affirming in some way by my speech, by my words, by my action, letting them know that I hear your story, I hear what you're going through, and how do they feel that I am really concerned, because I'm continually ensuring that I got what they're saying, and I hear where they're coming from.
Mhm.
And how I know that they actually understand and feel that I'm helping them is for them to come back and say, I really appreciate, I just had it to happen the other day. I wrote a client, she gave me all of her facts, and I was able to put together a rebuttal letter, of employment discrimination case. She just wrote me a response saying that because I was able to take her thoughts and put them in a form where it was readable, understandable, it made sense, now she feels confidence. That's
Mhm.
affirmation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Mary, another thing is to understand the opposite of that, or what people who are work from words of affirmation, the affirmative kind of love language. What are the negative things and how it affects them? And I think criticism tears down the
Yeah.
esteem of someone who's in that group.
Yes.
And so you have to be careful in your communication with these people who are, who live and love off of words of affirmation, because criticism just tears them apart, so
That's a
they're
good
very
point.
sensitive to that.
That's a
So
good point.
understanding the opposite too is
Yes,
really
that's a
important.
good point.
Right. And that is so critical, because we think of affirmations as what's so important about telling you that I love you. What's so important? We see how detrimental words are to our self-esteem, our self-image. You could really have a low self-esteem because you were never affirmed at home.
Mhm.
You were never appreciated. People, Lucinda, what you just described is that you were appreciated. She really appreciated you. And to say that to somebody, sometimes it means something, especially to your children, to your spouse. It's like, well, you never tell me about the good things. You only tell me about the bad things. So what are you affirming in them? This is the way they feel love when you constantly there. I have a couple of friends. Sometimes I think you could be, you know, your primary language is so strong that it can be a challenge for other people, because I have a couple of friends that you just got to tell them all the time how
Needy.
Yeah,
how
right.
yeah how much
Who
that
they are. And
you know, oh wow, wonderful job, good job. Just like, oh, you didn't notice that I did this? Oh, you didn't notice? I'm thinking, oh God, am I slipping? Because I need to be more conscientious that their love language is
different from yours.
words of affirmation, because they need to be affirmed all the time.
All the time,
And it
right?
can be a challenge to show some of these loves if they're not your greatest friend,
Mhm.
Mm.
you know? And
But
so
I,
when you let, oh, go ahead, Linda,
no, I
I'm
was
gonna
just
share
going
the
to say,
screen again.
but the important thing is that identifying our own, but also understanding the language of others.
Yes.
That's the basic premise.
So how, when we look here, how to communicate that, and then what actions we could take to communicate that? You want to go over that, Linda?
What
To
actions like,
encourage?
yeah, encouraging, affirming, appreciation,
Oh, you did.
empathizing. And the actions taken are to, like sending notes and texts and cards, genuinely encouraging others, and doing it often.
And doing it often, yes.
Yeah, doing it often. And I told you, some of my friends, a couple of my friends, words of affirmation is their primary end. I tell you, you got to do it often. So physical touch, this is me. Everybody knows me. They know I am a hugger. I love people. I am a toucher. I talk with my hands. I do I mean, it's just all about touch for me. So this comes easy for me. So physical touch, Linda, you gonna read that and then I
Yeah,
can.
nonverbal use, body language, and touch for expression of love. These are people who make personal touching a priority. And physical love making a priority. Who like to be held and cuddled and hugged and all of that. They're really into that. Um, they're showing a physical, they're showing affection by doing that. That's their language. And so that's what they're about.
Like Harry and Meghan.
Mhm. Like who?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Harry and Meghan.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about that, Lucinda. What do you mean, like Harry and Meghan?
Well, because they're always touching.
Uh-huh.
And that's beautiful. I'm not criticizing it, but they're always in a mode of affection.
Uh-huh.
And I just think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, that is me. Yeah. So you'll probably find that person don't mind public display of affection. Some people, they don't like it, but you can still be, your love language can still be physical touch, and you're not into public display of affection because
Yeah.
that's how you were told. Even though you want to be touched and you like being touched, you just not publicly. So it doesn't mean just because that person likes to touch, it's always going to be in public.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's important to me. And then receiving gifts. This is my daughter.
Yeah. Tell us about her.
My daughter, she makes the greatest gift baskets, and she's always, getting, making things to give, to give. She likes to give, and she likes to receive gifts. Well, see, I have 4 sons and 1 daughter. So with her, she's always been that way. So we probably did that. I mean, ever since she was born, she's been given gifts. But so she does like giving, receiving and giving gifts. She's very thoughtful in that manner. And what does it say? What thoughtfulness?
Yeah, and small things matter in a big way. Expressing gratitude when receiving a gift. These are the gifters. They really they are very thoughtful and speak purposefully, and they just love giving and receiving gifts. That's how they feel love.
I like that thing where it says, make your spouse a priority.
Uh-huh.
She's been married 15 years.
All right.
And you better know, honey. My son-in-law is truly her priority, okay, and her children. But my son-in-law, he's still her boo. After 15 years, that yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It is awesome.
It is true. And then we have quality time. That's me again. So I have Two
Yeah, that's
strong ones.
necessary.
Quality time is really great for me because I'm the kind of person that even if I don't see you a lot, I want you present in my life.
Mhm.
So quality time, think about your children. If they say, you don't never spend no time with me, or your mate, or you know, you just feel like I know you provide for me. I know that you're always saying nice things. You always buying me stuff and you always do stuff for me, but you never spend any time with me.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you must not really, really love me. You said, wait a minute, I do all those other things for you, but just because we don't spend enough time, or I don't like to be on the phone, or I don't like to, fly halfway across the world to see you means I don't love you. Yeah, right. Because I need quality time. And
Yep.
I know that, I had one man that I really, really adored a lot.
Mhm.
I guess why I don't do long distance relationships, because they're just, they don't provide me with the two things
Yeah.
that I really, really love, right? Touch, you don't get enough touching, and you don't get enough quality time. And and he was very, very nice. And words of affirmation was definitely there strong, acts of service, he would do whatever. But and gifts, no problem, but no quality time.
And the
And
opposite
I
of that
can't do
is
it, huh?
the opposite of that, which can destroy a relationship where you have someone who needs quality time, is ignoring them.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
True.
you're on the way down.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah. Say that again. Now talk about
yeah,
that. Say that again.
ignoring someone who values quality time, making time for one another can really injure a relationship. So you better know it. You better know what's working for that person
Yep. Yep.
if you
Yeah.
care, if you really care about them,
Yeah.
because it can cause some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So on quality time here, let's share the screen again. So it's saying you're uninterrupted, uninterrupted, focused conversations. One-on-one time is critical.
Mm.
Critical.
You know
And
what?
then it says, create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your partner. Weekend getaway are huge. Isn't that nice?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just seem nice for anybody in a relationship? Or maybe it's just me because
No,
it's
it's
one of
not.
my top.
No, it's not. And even as a Christian, I'm looking at this, and my worship and my communication with Christ. That is this is how I communicate my love to Christ. It has to be uninterrupted
Time.
time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we're just he and I, just one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of times that is because I walk a lot. A lot of times that's when I do. I mean, I'm thinking about him all the time, but when I'm walking and when I get up in the morning and when I lay down at night, those are the moments
Uh-huh.
when I have that type of communication,
Yes.
with Christ. So I just wanted to, share that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why meditation is so important, because it gives us that quality time with, whatever your higher power is, and also with yourself. So
Yourself, yes.
it's in that, it's imperative that we have that
Yeah.
quality time
Yeah.
with those that we love.
Yes.
But
And
you
of
know
course,
what?
of course, that was coming from the perspective of, just my system of belief and being, I just
Sure,
want
yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
But
Sure.
but you
'Cause
and
all of
just
us
to
are-
just to piggyback off of that, Lucinda, that is a very good point. I truly also believe that that is how God is. I think quality time is one of God's love languages.
Mhm.
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 And
Mhm.
Jesus knew that because he would go out and spend time with his father, out away from
Yep.
everybody. And I
Absolutely.
and I know that every time I spend that quality uninterrupted time
Mhm. Mhm.
loving on the Father, just we're not talking about at church. We're not talking about amongst folk. We
Mm.
talking about just me and him.
One-on-one.
Yep.
Mhm,
Just that one-on-one quality time with him.
mhm.
I tell him, I said, you know, you're such a reciprocating God. You just can't help yourself, can you, Father? I try to love on you and you just shower me and shower
Yeah.
me with your anointing. I feel so wonderful. And then, you know, it's just awesome. I can't say, I love you. I just love you without him showering me with this love, this feeling that's just like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know?
Yes.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so
Exactly what
I
you
think that his love, like one of his love languages, since he gave us all of these love languages, is definitely, and even gifts. Look, he
Yeah,
gave
yeah,
us his
yeah,
son, you know.
yeah.
But that, like you said, Lucinda, that's according to our system of belief. We Christians,
Yes.
so you know, we believe we believe in Christ, and we believe,
Yeah.
you know. So,
But you-
but listen, I mean, if you're not, that's okay. Still join the conversation. But we're just saying from our perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Next
let me
one.
go. What we have here? Let's look at the last one. Let's see here.
Acts of service.
That's it. Yeah.
Acts of service.
Acts of service, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's one of mine too.
Yeah. Mhm.
You
Now,
know,
acts of service, that's something, go ahead, Linda, you read
the
that and then we can dive into it.
yeah, the action phase is like, I'll help. Wanting to do what you can to help and partnering with other people to get things done and that kind of thing is what this is all about. And like that's like doing chores together and making breakfast, in bed for someone or your spouse or your significant other, or Mother's Day, you serve mom breakfast in bed or whatever, or you go out of your way to help others to alleviate their daily workload, or to make them feel better in some form or fashion. That's what this is about. That's a love language also.
Yes.
And so and it's very, very important. This is what Jesus did when he was washing the feet of the disciples. And this is something that he did very humbly,
Yeah.
not to receive something. If you do this for me, then you're supposed to, if I do this for you, then you're supposed to, reciprocate and do, give me the physical touch, or whatever. But it's humbly done, to be really a love language. And I think that one of the things that could kill this is demands are blocking this language. And they'll dam up the flow of love, so you have to be careful about that. Be aware of it with someone who works out of this language, no demanding, please, that they have to do this stuff for you.
Well,
Yeah.
this seems to be, I think about when I'm doing an intake on a new client, we do a number of assessments because depending on what they come to coaching for, if they're in a relationship, basically, and I'm doing relationship coaching, then then I'll ask them to take this assessment along with a couple of other assessments, because I want both of them to know each other a little bit better and just to see how close they are. Even if they say, well, I don't believe in assessments, I still have them to take the assessments just so they can see if they were right. Are you right about this person? Did you know? Were there any surprises? Did you realize that this person is an acts of service person? Did you realize that that person is a word of affirmation person?
And you had
And if you did,
to do that, right?
what, how do you speak to that language? How are you showing up for them? Because and that's why I said, so some I see show up more, and this is one, the acts of service. Either you have the person saying, I do this all the time. I do for them. I do whatever they ask me to do. I'm always fixing things. Here's the one we got from our parents a lot was, what do I put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one who knows
Anytime
that
you heard
one.
that.
And so that's what acts of service.
Right.
These are the things I'm doing for you. I do these for you. So that's a big one right there. Is acts of service. This is the way we show our love. You love me? Go in there and wash them dishes. You love me? Do your chores.
And you may be a physical person, who needs some hugs and kisses,
Like you give me a hug, boy, I'm gonna go in there and do the dishes. I'm gonna mop the floor. I'm gonna do all that. Can you just hug, or can you speak to me nicely? Can you say, baby, you know what? You are so sweet, and mama just love you, and just love when you help me around the house and the things you do. You're always taking out the trash, do you mind helping mama do them dishes in there or something? That might go much, much further. On the other end, you got the person who say, but you never do anything for me. Yes, you tell me you love me. Yes, you speak nice to me, but you never do nothing for me.
And one of the cover, Mary, I think so far as the opposite side of it is persons who love to be hugged and all of that. One of the things that could kill them, diminish that person is abuse. That would just kill a person who loves to be held and all of that, who's very physical in their love expression.
So just like these are ways we can communicate love, these are also ways that we can damage people.
That's right.
That's so true. Yeah.
And I won't go into my story, but I was sexually abused, physically abused, and emotionally abused as a child. But I'm still touch is still one of my strong love languages.
Right.
But those people betrayed my touch. And I say those people because there was multiple people. So they betrayed
your relationship with them, Mary.
Huh?
How has it affected your relationship with them?
Okay, so the difference is that so once I got born again, once I really have a relationship with God, to the point where I know God and I know my reason for being here. So this goes into a whole nother thing. I know that what the word says is that unforgiveness, that we should forgive, else God will not forgive us. And so my thing, and I know everyone's not ready for this, is forgiveness. So I have forgiven anyone who's ever abused me.
But did it
did
it negatively affect your relationship initially?
Did it negatively affect initially? Initially, absolutely. It didn't only affect my relationship with them. It affected my relationship with everybody. I hated people, and especially Christian people. I hated people. I used to cuss people out left and right. I told you all before that I'm bilingual. My first language was cussing. And so I learned English later. So I was always talking out of my first language to people, and my favorite word started with an F. And it was F this, F that, F that. And one lady said to me one day, I went to the store and I was just talking to my mom and I was just talking. And the lady, when I got up to the checkout, the cashier said, I thought you were a very beautiful woman until you opened up your mouth. And I said, whoo, that was cold. But I bought her a thank you card and some roses and brought it back to her.
Oh.
And that was the beginning of me saying, wow. And so, but yes, I hated people. I really did. And I didn't trust. Oh my gosh, I had trust issues. That's the reason why. And this is a whole nother thing. And it's a plug. Yes, it's a plug for any of you who have been abused. I do how to overcome the negative effects of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, sexual, whatever, how to overcome the negative effects and to be free. So yes, initially, did it affect my relationship with them? Of course, it's betrayal. In my case, it wasn't strangers. These were people in my life, So yes, it affected it. But in the long run, because, You know, I think about the book I'm writing now, Me Love, Cultivating Self-Love and Self-Compassion. All of that, you know, God will take what was meant for your harm and turn around and make it for your good. In my case, I've been able to help so many people with my poem, with my song, and now with my book and my transformational series, you know, so a life transformational series. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to get all off into that, but yeah, it does.
It does affect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but you know, it's not something, that's why I say just be cautious that when you use these love languages, this is for understanding. This is just a guideline. This doesn't mean that there are not other love languages or whatever. Gary Chapman just found a common thread that seems to keep showing up in various situations with love involved. So he picked out these 5, and you know, people ran with them, and it's a great thing. So it really does look at, I mean, there's been some research that's been done, and it just shows that when you speak to people's love language, you can improve your relationship. And it doesn't mean that it has to be yours, but understanding. God says, with all you're getting, get understanding.
Well, Mary, you had also, you have a website that they might go to.
Oh, yes.
Get more information and to test themselves.
Yeah, why don't I do that? That would.
And also the love language of others that are around you, the ones that you love. You know, they may be different. You may not really consciously be aware as to what their love language is, but this may help and help you to identify.
Let me see. This is going to Gary Chapman's right here. Goes to, so it's 5lovelanguages.com. 5lovelanguages.com. And they can actually take, here you hit quiz right here. You can actually go in, you can take the quiz for love, and and you can be getting a couples quiz, the teens quiz, the children's quiz, and a singles quiz.
Wow. Okay.
We got a lot of quizzes.
Yes. So you can do the quiz and answer some of the questions, and you know, all that. You can download the app and all that good stuff. So yeah, 5lovelanguages.com.
That sounds like a fun activity for families or for couples, you know?
Yeah, I do. I'm telling you, it really, really works, because just to have a conversation with these couples, and that have been together for years, some of them, and they just, you know how couples go through and they don't know, and they finally sit down and they take the time. You know, I try to get them to look at each other's personalities, because sometimes they never, you know, sometimes people never even know their own personality type.
Okay.
They don't even know what motivates them, what demotivates them, what gives them pleasure, what, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how they function best in a specific environment, because they don't take the time.
That's why we're giving them the information right now, you know, because most don't.
So you can learn about yourself, and then you also now learn about the other person.
Right.
All you're getting, get understanding, because you understand one another. You may not agree with each other. I might not like the fact that every time I turn around, you need a word of affirmation. But I also help you to understand, babe, sometimes I may not affirm you at that moment.
Right.
But let me affirm you right now. Let me let you know that I appreciate everything you do. I love you. And I think you're wonderful, and you're always helping. And I so appreciate that. And, you know, I'll try to do better, but you know, I might not be able to do it as much as you want. And then that for that person to say, okay, you know what, maybe I'm being a little bit too needy here. You know, needing all of this affirmation. It doesn't mean she doesn't love me, because she's more, and they just might come up and hug me.
Right.
You know, and the more they hug me, the more we have this, there's this thing in behavior modification, it's psychology, behavior modification. You do something, it's called reward. There's reward and punishment, right? So the reward, you know, it actually helps you to increase the likelihood that that person will repeat that action.
Is.
So if you are words of affirmation and they are a touch, go up and hug them.
Right.
Every time they say something, you know, or do something for them. Go out and buy them flowers if they a gift person. When they affirm you, you go and do something and affirm them. And so you're constantly, you know, affirming each other with your actions, you know, whatever their love language is. And it
Right.
works.
Mhm. And that's why it's important to understand each other and what our love languages are, you know, because yeah, all of us are different, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we're not all different, but you know, we have different ways of
Well,
expressing.
we are different. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna make for a better world if we understand.
Yes,
Get
absolutely.
understanding.
Well, girls, I
So
mean, it's
you gonna wrap it up for us, Mary?
yeah, it's a little bit past the hour, past a half an hour, rather, half an hour mark. And today, you know, we came in just a few minutes late because we got dropped off and then we had to jump back on. But we are so appreciative of you joining in whenever you can, whether you're doing it when we're live, whether you see us afterwards, and you guys are always commenting, and we really appreciate that. We always want to bring something that's going to help you succeed in whatever area of life you are in. And so today we talked about the 5 love languages. We talked about you know, words of affirmation, quality time, you know, touch. We talked about, you know, gifts, and we talked about you know, acts of service. And we just want you to look in your own life and see how you can show more love and understand what, you know, the people in your life need, and then to see how, you know, to communicate what speaks to you. You know, go on to that, you know, 5lovelanguages.com. And no, we're not getting paid for anything. No one's, you know, endorsing us. We're not endorsing. We just, you know, we in our research, we just grab things that could help you. But you know, you could take the quiz yourself, or you could just Google somewhere where you could take the quiz. And so we love you so much. We really, really do. We hope that this show has been a blessing to you. And we are going to just keep on getting better and better and just keep on bringing stuff to you. And don't forget to comment, you know, comment, let us know what more you would like to see. If there are any particular conversations you'd like for us to have, would you like to come on and have a conversation with us? Just let us know, and we will get back with you and make it happen.
Okay.
God bless you. And ladies, you got any final words?
No,
No.
no chat. There's no one who is in our chat tonight, right? No one has a question tonight?
I want to thank, yeah, we did have Sean was on. Let's see here. Hi, Sean. How are you? We are so glad you joined us tonight. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to open it up. No, here we go. I'm going to get this one day really good. I thought I saw someone. Oh, I need to go here. Okay, that's where. For whatever reason, we're pausing on mine is pausing. I hope theirs is not pausing, but on my computer that I'm looking at is pausing. So let me see here. But Shauna Felice was on. She joined us. Okay, there we are. And
She had a comment?
She did. She just said, love this session. She said, I had an issue in this area too. Thank you for helping me. Love this session. She said, you are great at what you do. She said something about Harry and Meghan. Is it Harry and Meghan? Because she had a Omar Child said, hello, everyone. Let's see.
Oh, yes, that's one of my friends.
Yeah, that's all I see right now. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to get to those.
Yeah.
But
okay.
we also had, yeah. Some people joined us, Sean Hattie, Deborah Wright, Priscilla Jean. So hi everybody. Deborah Wright, how you guys? They love the show. How you doing? Lena. Oh, Lena Peyton Fields. Yeah, she's here. Yeah, so hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We love you, and we will see you next time with a great conversation. Ladies, what do you think? We'll do some preparation for success, or
We'll surprise them.
We'll surprise
Yeah.
you. We'll surprise you. But remember, we will be doing Mother's Day, just a Mother's show in May, and we'll see if it's be. We don't want to hold people up on Mother's Day, but we'll see which Sunday it'll be. But right now, it looks like it's on Mother's Day. So we may do it the week after, and or the second week after, and we're doing one for Father's Day. So I'm excited to see those. Anyway, to do those shows. So we love you. We talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye
right.
for now, everybody.
Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.